Hi, and welcome back to Focal Point AFR Talk. Number to call if you want to join the conversation, 888-589-8840, 888-589-8840. One other myth that is exploded by pro-lifers is the myth that abortion is necessary to protect the health of the mother. I want to read a quote from Marguerite Duane, who is the Associate Professor of Family Medicine at Georgetown University. Georgetown University is not the Family Research Council. It's not the American Family Association. It's Georgetown University. She is the Associate Professor of Family Medicine. She's a doctor. She says this: it is never necessary to have an abortion for a woman's health. I repeat, this is the Associate Professor of Family Medicine, Georgetown University. It is never necessary to have an abortion for a woman's health. So that's just a lie. If you hear people saying we got to have it for women's health, it is an absolute bald-faced lie. It is never necessary for a woman to have an abortion for the sake of her health. Now, we had that famous quote from Andrew Cuomo the other day where he was saying, look, if you're pro-life, you are pro-marriage, you are in favor of the Second Amendment, there is no place for you in New York. That was a direct quote. There is no place for you in New York. Now, the mayor of New York City, this is the guy that's in big trouble because he wouldn't plow the neighborhoods of the rich people. You didn't vote for me. You don't like me because I'm a communist. I've said it straight out. He's the guy that said that he loves the heavy hand of government. That's a direct quote from the mayor of New York City. I love the heavy hand of government. He's for it. He doesn't even apologize for it. I mean, most liberal politicians will at least say they oppose tyrannical government, intrusive government. He doesn't. He says, man, I love the heavy hand of government, and he used it to punish the rich in New York. I'm not going to plow your neighborhoods because you didn't vote for me. You know I'm a communist. You know I want bigger government. I want to confiscate more of your money. So I'm not going to plow your streets for you. And he came out today and said, I'm 100% down with Andrew Cuomo. Now, Andrew Cuomo is trying to back away from this. He's trying to finesse it. He realizes he made a mistake here, made a boo-boo by saying there is no place for you in New York. Comes across like Bull Connor. I mean, you talk about a segregationist. I mean, that kind of segregation based on support for life, support for the Second Amendment, support for marriage, and you have to be segregated from us. We can't be contaminated with you. We don't want you in our neighborhoods. We don't want you anywhere in our state. Go away, leave. I mean, that's worse than any kind of racial segregation that we had. Well, I'm not going to say it's worse, but it's the same type of segregation that we had in the South. So he's been trying to retreat from that because he sounds like a racist on political correctness issues. So he's trying to back away from it. DeBlasio isn't. He's heading right into it, man. I love it. He says, I stand by his statement 100%. 100%. DeBlasio says, I am with Governor Cuomo. If you are a conservative, you're an extremist, and there is no place for you in my city. Now, Sean Hannity lives and works in New York, and he reacted to what Cuomo said and reacted to what this is before de Blasio said what he said. But this is clip number 7. I got 2 sound bites from Hannity about how he's responding to Governor Cuomo saying, I'm going to send you into exile. I don't want you around me. I don't want you around my children. I don't want you around our politics. I don't want you around our neighborhoods. I don't want you involved in our business. I don't want you involved in our legislatures. Please go away. Here's what Sean Hannity had to say.
Now, I want to tell you something. Now, I was born and raised in New York. I want you to know that. And I can't wait to get out of here. I really can't. I don't want to pay their 10% state tax anymore. I live in the second highest property tax county in the entire country in Nassau County. I can't wait to sell my house to somebody that wants it. I can't wait to pay no state income tax down in Florida or Texas. I haven't decided yet, but I'm leaning Florida because I like the water and I like to fish.
It's interesting.
I never liked to.
It's interesting. There's a bidding war now, between the governor of Florida, Rick Scott, and the governor of Texas, Rick Perry, about who gets Sean Hannity. He's like a 5-star recruit. And you got Alabama and LSU going for the same 5-star recruit. So they're both trying to entice Sean Hannity to move to Florida and to move to Texas. They're attractive states for somebody like Sean Hannity because there is no income tax in those states. So they are competing to see who can entice him to come. Here is the second of the Sean Hannity clips, clip 8. Let's listen.
Governor Cuomo, I'm going to leave, and I'm taking all of my money with me, every single solitary penny. And by the way, Governor, because I work here, there's a whole bunch of people that work for me and benefit because I do 2 shows. And I guess maybe some of them will be out of work, Governor. I'm sure you'll take care of them.
And I think this is what got Cuomo's attention. Look, I'm running off taxpayers. Remember, we saw that yesterday. The top 1%, this is in America, but the same thing would be true in New York. The top 1% of wage earners pay more taxes than the bottom 90%. The top 1%, Sean Hannity belongs in that category, pay more taxes than the bottom 90%. So Cuomo started thinking, look, I run all these people out of my state. I've got nobody to pay for my social programs. I've got nobody to pay for welfare. I've got nobody to fund the lollipops I want to give out to everybody in New York. And he realized that was potentially a fatal move. Now, I want to take a few minutes in the rest of this segment before we go to the phones to talk about something that's very, very important. It has to do with history. So we're shifting gears here. Rob, if we can, let's kind of shift gears